Hey, what's up, guys? It's Flames Karai. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've done a video. I haven't exactly had a way to do anything. My phones keep breaking or having weird things happen to them. Don't ask me why. I'm just really unlucky when it comes to things like that. Anyway, one of my friends is letting me borrow his webcam so I can do videos for things like this. So, I figured I'd make my first video for a while uh, be a profile on my Dark Magician Fusion deck. Do understand that it is not complete yet. I need Fusion recoveries, and I need Magi Girl to be released, and a few other support cards that haven't been released yet. However, this deck is quite well, not competitive, but it's really good. I love it. I really do. It's one of the few Dark Magician decks I've had that have effectively kept its consistency. Um, Anyway, so here we'll jump into it. Straight off the bat, we've got three dark uh, three dark magicians. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this thing, but we have three dark magicians because, well, dark magician. He's the main monster. Um, Next up, we got three blue eyes. Because I actually find that Blue Eyes fuses quite well with Dark Magician, like, in terms of how the engines work together. It actually worked, like I said, it works amazingly well. Anyway, we got two Dark Magician girls, because this Dark Magician fusion, and if you're going to have Dark Magician, you might as well have Dark Magician girl, so you can go for Dark Magician girl, the Dragon Knight. It's just my opinion, though. Next up, we've got three Maiden with Eyes of Blue, because she can search out Dark Magician, or not Dark Magician, but Blue Eyes. She's a spellcaster, and she's a tuner. She's the only tuner you really need. I was considering running Effect Veiler as well, however, I had to pull her out to make room for other cards that I needed as well. Three Blizzard Dragons, because they'll be their targets for your Summoner Monk, and also their attack boosters for Dark Paladin, and also his overall effect is just really good, because you can use this guy to you can summon Summoner Monk, discard a spell, drop a Blizzard Dragon, and then suddenly one of their biggest monsters and most dangerous monsters can't attack you because you just made it so it couldn't. It's a really nice surprise, and it can end up changing the course of the duel if you end up because of surviving a turn thanks to Blizzard Dragon. Anyway, next up, King of the Swamp, because he can substitute himself for a fusion material. There are only a few monsters in the deck, or in the extra deck, that he'll actually be able to substitute himself for, but he's not in here for that. Like, he can, it's nice, but for the most part he's in here because he can search out Polymerization. Next up, two copies of Summoner Monk, because, well, he's nice. He's an instant XYZ monster, specifically Exciton Knight or Silent Honor Arc, because, well, they're really good and really helpful and are serious game changers. Anyway, next up, a single copy of Kaiku. I had two of him in here, but I needed to pull one of them out for a Gaga Magician. Once we get to the extra deck, I'll explain why he's in here. Next up, because Konami took her off the list, Magician of Faith. She's also in here because I don't currently have a Fusion Recovery. I would love to get one of those, but all my friends who have them are building a Fusion deck of one sort or another, so I can't get them. Go figure. Anyway, next up, one Thunder King Ryo, because Thunder King Ryo just wrecks so much. He's really good. I never stopped loving him, and I kind of wish he'd go back to 2. But, you know what, whatever. If they're going to promote 3 reinforcement of the army, I'm not going to argue too much, because I use battling boxers, so I'm not going to, I'm going to enjoy it. Anyway, next up for spells, we've got 3 Polymerization, because it's a fusion deck. We have 3 copies of MST, because, well, back row removal is, that back row is the only, the only serious issue this deck actually has. Next up, 2 copies of Magical Dimension to deal with those to help deal with those dead hands where you end up getting Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl and you just can't get them on the field or fuse them. This will help deal with that. I don't have to use it super often, but there are those occasions. Next up, 2 Wonder Wand, because, well, you can summon Maiden, target her with this, and I've also been finding that the draw power that it gives you after you've gotten your Blue Eyes has helped me in a lot of duels, and it's just overall a really good card. And next up, for the cards that I only have 1 copy of in here, we have Raigeki, Book of Moon, and 1-for-1. Book of Moon because it's good for interrupting plays, Raigeki because, well, it's just broken as all heck, and Konami was stupid for taking it off the list. And 1-for-1 because it can fetch Maiden from your deck, and sometimes you just need that wall to say, don't hit me, I need to get my stuff, don't hit me. I hate those situations, but they happen on occasion. Anyway, next up for traps, we have 2 copies of Mirror Force because, well, Mirror Force. You need to stall sometimes. It happens. Next up, Breakthrough Skill. I find that Breakthrough Skill is more effective for this version than Fiendish Chain. I originally had 3 Fiendish Chains in here. However, I'm finding Breakthrough Skill is a lot more effective. And then Gaga Shield, 2 copies of it. 1, because you can target Maiden with it and drop a Blue Eyes, and then you've got a Maiden who up to twice per turn can't be destroyed, and nobody likes that. And second off, because it can help you protect your extra deck monsters like Dark Paladin, Ebon Illusion Magician, and all those other ones. That's about it, but still. It's good enough, because those are really good cards. Anyway, on to the extra deck. We have a single Dark Paladin. This was my first card, and I've loved it ever since I got it. When I first started playing this game, I didn't understand how it worked because I was going off how the anime worked. But you know what? Dark Paladin. He was my first card. I was very proud of getting him. Later on, when I found out how the whole value thing on Yu-Gi-Oh works, I became even more proud that that was my first card. But all the same, Dark Paladin. Right here. Anyway, next up, 1 copy of Amulet Dragon. This will help deal with some of your dead hands. That's one of the reasons why I used Blue Eyes White Dragon in here, because you can fuse Dark Magician with him to create Amulet Dragon, and sometimes this guy is just all you need. The ability to banish spell cards helps deal with things like Shaddolls, spellbooks, and just, you'd be surprised how effective that effect can just screw people over. And also his ability to fetch back a spellcaster when he's destroyed is really helpful. Anyway, next up, 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight. She's really good. Once per turn, pop a card. Also, she's level 7, which means you can overlay her for Ebon Illusion Magician, which is half of what I end up using her for. Don't get me wrong, I also use her Shoot effect, but half the time I end up finding her as overlay material for my Ebon Illusion Magician. Next up, 2 copies of First of the Dragons because, oh man, this card is so good. It just doesn't care about the current meta. It just doesn't, and I love it. Also, it helps deal with those dead hands. Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's just, yeah. It's a really good card. 2700 attack and cannot be destroyed by and is unaffected by the effects of effect monsters. So what more do you want? Anyway, next up, a single copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate because I might as well. I'm running 3 Blue Eyes and 2 King of the Skull Servants, so I might as well. Also, there have been a few times where I wanted to summon it, and I could, but I couldn't because I didn't have one, so I figured I'd get one. Next up, a single copy of Ebon Illusion Magician. He detaches, essentially summons Dark Magician, and then once per turn when a normal spellcaster attacks not just yours, your opponent too. If for whatever weird reason they're playing Dark Magician too or something like that, or have a Gemini Elf, then you can use his... Sorry, I dropped him. But you can use his effect to banish a card on the field when it attacks. He is really nice, and he has the same stats as Dark Magician. And then one copy of Azurai's Silver Dragon. I was using 2, but I'm finding that I rarely summon him as it is, and I've never actually summoned 2 of them, so I wouldn't waste my time with the second one. So I just pulled it out. Essentially, that's the main deck. Choose what you want for the rest of the extra deck. I don't really mind. The thing is, those are the monsters you need. I'm going to do a deck profile on this deck later on. At that point, it'll be a lot more fusion-based. It'll even have Flame Swordsman, Dark Flare Knight, I think is what he's called. I left my copy of him in Prescott, so I can't remember. But it'll even have Mirage Knight, and it's just going to be wonderful. Once I have that version up and running, I will post an updated video for this deck up here, but for right now, this is my Dark Magician deck that I'm using. I love it. It is so much fun. It's not competitive, but you know what? It can just mess with your opponents. So anyway, peace out, subscribe, and thank you for having the patience to deal with the fact that I haven't been able to get up or get on YouTube in forever. Peace out.